Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'll be showcasing some more unmarked locations in Skyrim. In the last episode, there was a lot of common known ones, but today that might be different. Let me know in the comments how many of the locations you already know about. I just quickly want to say thank you for the recent support on the channel. The channel is almost at 100 subscribers, which is insane, so thank you guys again. Anyway, let's get started with the first location. On the main road north of Sunderstone Gorge lies the aftermath of an ambush. A lone peddler can be found dead on the side of the road with his cart stripped clean. The only items being left is some pots and bowls. However, if you choose to loot the merchant's corpse, then you can find a speech skill book. Down the road you can also find the horse that once belonged to the peddler, and as we can see, it unfortunately met the same fate. West of Sunderstone Gorge, you can come across a very peculiar formation of mushrooms growing from the ground. If you choose to harvest them, then you can expect to find Bleeding Crown, Whitecap, Blisterwort, Flight Amanita and Nimira's Rot. Also, literally right next to the mushrooms is a dragon mound as well as an iron ore deposit. Extremely close to Sunderstone Gorge is a small hunter's camp. When you arrive you can find a chest to steal from, a bow and some arrows, and also an elk that has recently been hunted. If you have any skins to sell yourself, then you can talk to the hunter and make some coin. At the most northeastern part of Lake Illanalta, you can find a small fisherman's camp. You can find the fisherman sitting on the stone near the lake, and whilst his back is turned, you can go over to his tent to loot the knapsack and even get a one-handed skill book. Not far from the fisherman's camp is the Sunken fishing boat, located in the depths of Lake Illanalta. This one can be quite tricky to find as it's hard to see underwater, but if you line yourself up with these trees from the rocks and just go forward, then you should be able to find the boat pretty easily. Once you have found it, you will see a dungeon boss chest. The lock to open it is adept, but hopefully once you open it, you will be rewarded with some good loot. It may be a good idea to bring some water breathing potions if you have some trouble finding it. And of course, don't forget to look out for those pesky slaughterfish that call this lake their home. On a hill near Lake Illanalta is a Nordic burial ground. You will know you have found the right place when you see a set of stacked rocks and a banner waving in the wind. Just below the rocks is a body of a dark elf, and right next to him is a big gold purse, as well as some flowers to add to your alchemy pouch. This next location can be found just above Evergreen Grove. Near a small waterfall you can find an abandoned Alchemists Camp. If you take a closer look, you can find an alchemy skill book, an apothecary satchel with some ingredients, and some nern root can be found around the water. There is also 2 pots and a large sack that have some random items in them. And of course there is the bedroll to use if you are in need of some rest. More interestingly however, you can find the alchemist's journal on the tree stump. The journal says, "Setting up camp near this mushroom grove, interested in seeing what exactly is causing their enhanced growth in this area. Today I'll be heading out to see what kind of effects the mushrooms and nearby nernroot are having on the ecosystem downstream." Now if you actually follow the river downstream, you will come to the main location called Evergreen Grove, where you can find the alchemist laying dead in the middle of the water. Be careful of the spriggans nearby and don't forget to loot the other alchemy skill book that is just on the shore. There are also a few other things that are nearby that could interest you. The first one is that in the pond near the bottom, you can dive into the water and find some spadefish. Furthermore, just like the journal mentioned, there is an enhanced growth of mushrooms in the area. You can find these if you look around the trees that are near the camp. There looks like there is a lot that you can find, but there is actually only 7 bunches that you can loot. For those interested in how many mushrooms are actually on screen, then I'm pretty sure there are 110 bleeding crowns. If you travel west from Bannermist Tower, you will find the toppled over tower in Knife Point Woods. This tower that has fallen over has been converted into an animal den. Inside of the den there is scattered bones filling the area, and the inhabitants that live here are a couple of wolves. After defeating them you can loot an elk, some mushrooms, and there is a nicely hidden common chest to loot. At least to me it was hidden because I actually didn't even notice it the first time. If you travel a little ways west of Evergreen Grove, then you can stumble across the shocking aftermath of a dragon attack. This location can be hard to come by as it's not on the main road, but rather a lesser travelled dirt road. It's not actually confirmed whether a dragon was responsible for the attack. However, it makes the most sense considering all of the ongoings of the current time period. Upon closer investigation we can see 2 dead horses strewn about the area. Nearby is the carriage itself that has been destroyed, and right beside it is most likely the carriage driver who has unfortunately been burnt to a crisp. In terms of the loot that you can find, there are 2 sacks to search for some provisions. You can search the body that has been scorched, as well as the horses for some of the meat, but most importantly there is a chest that somehow didn't get damaged on the back of the cart. One thing I do like about this area is that the fire that is scattered around the area will eventually burn out if you come back after some time. The next location can be found just outside of Helgen, but odds are you probably have never seen it unless you have returned to Helgen in one of your playthroughs. The reason being is that it doesn't spawn when you first leave the cave with Ralof or Hadvar, and so in order for this location to actually spawn, you first need to complete the main quest, Dragon Rising. When you arrive, you will see a camp that has been set up, and just like in normal Elder Scrolls fashion, this tale is yet again an unfortunate one. The people who had set up camp here have been mauled to death by a wolf. Upon investigating the camp, we can see that the fire has long since burned out, and that the people are actually refugees. However, after searching their bodies and doing some other research, there is no evidence as to where they came from. The only thing that you can loot is the bodies of the unfortunate victims, as well as an axe that is under one of the bodies. Also, be careful as the wolf that is responsible may actually already be here, or it may ambush you afterwards like it did for me. Thank you for watching the video. Let me know in the comments if you knew about any of these locations. If you want to support the channel, then feel free to subscribe, as well as leave a like as it really does help. And with that, I hope to see you in the next video.